प्रसन्नजी माझ्यासोबत आहे. आम्ही निघालोय. पैसे तयार ठेव.
देखो वो लोग हमको लेने आ गए हैं. कोई नहीं जाएगा.
सब पीछे देख रहे हैं, लेकिन आज के कातिल लहू और लोहे से तारीख लिखते हैं.
Listeners, right now we are on the line. We have this pleasure and opportunity to be talking to the Vancouver International South Asian Film Festival producer, Mannu Sandhu. Thanks for taking the time to do this interview. So actually the festival has grown over the years because there's like 45 films from 6 different countries going to be screened at the festival, and I think 1 or 2 features.
Yeah, our programs have been growing every year. We've doubled our program from last year. We're at 5 locations this year. So, we're trying to kind of create this identity of promoting South Asian themes, South Asian context, South Asian artists, talent within this festival. So, if you have stories that kind of resonate with South Asia, or you're South Asian yourself, your film is qualified to be in the festival. So people have reached out to us from all over Canada. There's UK, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, even the USA. So we have lots of content that we're going to be playing this year. Lots of amazing movies that are coming from all of these countries. So we're very excited.
Yeah, very inclusive festival keeps changing, growing, evolving. Is there an overall theme for the festival? Not necessarily a theme, but that a culture has grown in its short time that it's been around?
Yeah, I mean, because we're such a wide audience, sometimes it's really hard to kind of focus on one particular theme. But, I mean, we're a festival that's run by, 90% women. We like to bring women-centric films. We put them also in the limelight as well. And topics that are sometimes South Asians don't like talking about, that are out of the box. There are topics that don't get presented in the mainstream films. So, things that are not the traditional way of cinema, we like to present that you can consider one of our themes as well. And women, and then the films that empower, an audience, that start conversation, that also kind of reflects on things we don't look at in a day-to-day life. So those are kind of the themes that we work with.
But definitely that's the thing about art. It exploits a lot of issues that people don't have the time or take the time to really study, examine. Like, of course, there's the caste system in India, and then women's rights. Would you be able to talk about some of the films that
this year, our opening film is very, kind of out of the box. That's a bit controversial. It's about the assassination of Chamkila and his wife. Now, when you discuss a topic like Chamkila, a lot of people think about, negative stuff because of how he was killed and everything like that. So, we want to put kind of those kind of topics in front of the audience and let them kind of also understand like why filmmakers make those kind of films, why those topics are important, So our opening film is in that context, and we have another film coming. It's called Manto. Manto is also another writer who always believed in kind of putting women in the front line for a very long time, even before partition. So his poetry and everything was also criticized a lot. So we're definitely picking out topics that are pretty much like empowering our audiences to come and watch it, and I feel that we have a lot of changing audience this year as well. Like a lot of like the youth that's coming and watching it, they're excited about films like Assassination of Chamkila. They want to know what happened 30 years ago. Who not majorly who was behind it, but why did it take place? Why was a singer killed because of his own art, which in our generation now would be considered normal, but at that time it was something that offended people. So yeah, topics like that, and like you said, women rights. We have a beautiful film called Half Widow that's coming. again, reflecting on what happens in Kashmir in terms of, when there's Muslim families that are living in Kashmir, what happens to the husbands there, how they get taken away from either, the officials there, where do they go? Why is it considered half-widow? Because the husband's not dead, he's not there, so they're considered kind of half-widows, So very, very powerful topics this year we're bringing.
I guess it's been also gratifying to you and other people involved with the festival when you see, I'm just mentioning India, like I go once a year, so how you see people come in empowered, like filmmakers from abroad.
Again, Nick, this is a South Asian festival, so India isn't always just our main focus. We do get a lot of films that come from India, but, we promote films from Pakistan, from Iran, from Nepal, Bhutan, like whatever film-centric, like whatever films are coming from all of South Asia. So, empowering the audience is pretty much for me is to bring different topics in front of them, which will let them see that there's another world that exists out there than our kind of perfect life that we live sometimes on this side of the Western culture, So I think that can empower people on appreciating what they have and not taking things for granted sometimes. So yeah, I feel there's a bit of empowerment in that.
It must be very unique, though, all the different styles of production, shooting, cinematography, shots that you see from abroad in this festival. This year we have 7 guests that are coming from, 3 coming from India, then we have somebody coming from the U.S., and we have some guests coming from the UK. So each of the filmmaker has their own way of making films. So for me, as a curator and the producer and our jury that looks at different films, there's so many different things to look at, in different kind of productions, like you said. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's gratifying to kind of watch that many films and look at so many different production values. And for me, because I work as an actor myself, I appreciate every project because I know the time and effort that it takes to make it, So I take the time to watch it. So that's very important. So we have, we're also focusing on the business side of cinema this year. We have a particular person that's doing a film finance sort of workshop with us that'll educate you on how to kind of make a film, how to distribute it in the digital sector. We're also doing a B2B event, a B2B networking event where people can come and meet certain people that have already made films and how they've done it and kind of listen into a lot of animation companies. Also, we have a lot of filmmakers locally whose films we're promoting that are short films, and they're going to be playing at Vancouver Film School. So yeah, we want to promote the local artists that are within our local, BC reach. So yeah, you can get all the information on the website. Our website is visaff.ca, and we have an Eventbrite page where you can get different kind of tickets to everything. We have a student price and a regular price. So if a student wants to take advantage of the pricing as well, it's there. Is the festival going to be outside of Vancouver also, like Surrey, the Valley?
It's in 5 locations. So we're targeting Surrey and Vancouver.
Oh.
So we're at Vancouver Film School on Saturday, Sunday on the 24th and 25th. We're at Cinematech for a movie called Mannu on the 25th afternoon. Then we're in Surrey for 2 days. We're in Surrey on Thursday at SFU and we're at the City Hall on Thursday, and then we're at SFU on the weekend as well. So there's multiple locations that we're going to be programming our festival.
Mannu, it's been great getting this chance and getting this opportunity to speak to you about the South Asian Vancouver International Film Festival. Yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview.
Thank you very much.
I've always wondered about the history and heritage of the instrumentation within Sikh music, and as we look around today, I cannot seem to find enough examples of our traditional instruments, and it makes me wonder what changed and why. we're going to be looking at the early origins, the history, important events, political influences, and how advancing modernity have all affected Sikh musical heritage.
The Sikh Gurus not only introduced the music and the tunes, but also the musical instruments, which were very, very much required for the desired results on the listener. Most of the instruments related with Guru Nanak.